Robert Redford was one of the defining stars of his era, the kind of actor who could hold the screen with nothing but a glance. From The Sting to Out of Africa, his classics are carved in stone. But what about the ones that slipped through the cracks? The quieter, stranger, or just plain overlooked movies in an otherwise legendary career? Today, we're looking at some of the underrated Robert Redford movies that still deserve your time. Before he became one of the faces of mainstream Hollywood, Redford played a driven, quietly arrogant athlete in 1969's Downhill Racer, a movie about a small-town skier who rockets onto the U.S. Olympic team and treats it like a one-man show. He doesn't chase friendship or glory, just results. Michael Ritchie directs it with a cool, observational style, cutting out the usual pep talks and triumph speeches.
All you ever had was your skis. And that's not enough.
Gene Hackman plays his coach, and while Redford barely speaks, the silence works. You see everything in his posture and in the way he sizes up the competition. The movie has a raw, almost documentary feel, showing the sport as fast, lonely, and unforgiving. It's one of Redford's earliest roles that hints at the self-contained, quietly defiant characters he'd keep playing for decades. In 1972's The Candidate, he plays Bill McKay, a young, idealistic lawyer talked into running for Senate as a publicity stunt. He's not supposed to win, just look good on camera and say the right things. At first he speaks freely, almost carelessly, but the closer he gets to real power, the more his words are shaped by consultants, handlers, and image makers. The movie slowly turns from a light political satire into something sharper, exposing how authenticity gets traded for electability. It's funny in parts, but there's an uneasiness under the surface that still feels relevant today. By the end, when McKay whispers, "What do we do now?" it's less a question and more a warning that nothing in politics really changes. Redford trades the serious tone of his political and spy dramas for something looser in 1972's The Hot Rock, a clever, offbeat heist comedy written by William Goldman, the screenwriter behind Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and All the President's Men. Directed by Peter Yates, who also directed 1968's Bullitt, the movie has that same slick, confident energy, but uses it for laughs instead of car chases. Redford plays Dortmunder, a professional thief who can't catch a break.
Put him down, chicken.
Can you help me?
Every job seems to fall apart in new, ridiculous ways, and his frustration only makes it funnier. He's joined by George Segal, who perfectly balances Redford's deadpan cool with nervous energy. The tone is dry, stylish, and quietly absurd. A crime movie where competence constantly slips through everyone's fingers. It didn't make much noise at the time, but it's one of Redford's most charming and effortlessly funny performances. Redford and Jane Fonda reunite in 1979's The Electric Horseman, playing two people who meet by chance and slowly pull each other out of their own ruts. He's a faded rodeo star turned corporate spokesman. She's a sharp, skeptical reporter chasing his story. What starts as an interview turns into an uneasy partnership as they hit the road together with a stolen racehorse in tow. Their chemistry carries the film, quiet glances, teasing dialogue, and a sense that both characters are a little too proud to admit how much they need the other. Redford and Fonda had worked together before in 1967's Barefoot in the Park, but here there's an ease between them, a mutual understanding that feels comfortable. Even when the story drifts, watching the two of them circle around, trust, attraction, and stubbornness keeps it alive. In 1980's Brubaker, Redford plays a prison warden who arrives undercover as an inmate to expose corruption inside a decaying state penitentiary. The film is loosely based on real events and directed by Stuart Rosenberg, who also made Cool Hand Luke, another story about rebellion within a broken system. What starts like a mystery slowly turns into a moral standoff, as Brubaker's empathy and outrage clash with the bureaucracy above him. Redford plays him without grand speeches or heroics. He's calm, determined, and quietly furious. The movie balances grit with restraint, showing cruelty in matter-of-fact ways instead of dramatizing it. It's one of those Redford roles where conviction replaces charm. A man pushing for reform in a world built to resist it, and knowing full well it might cost him everything. 2001's Spy Game pairs him with Brad Pitt in a sharp, stylish thriller about loyalty, mentorship, and betrayal. Redford plays Nathan Muir, a veteran CIA officer on the verge of retirement who learns that his former protege, played by Pitt, has been captured in China. Most of the film unfolds through flashbacks, cutting between tense agency meetings and the ghosts of past missions, Berlin, Beirut, Vietnam, where their bond was forged and tested.
You want to walk? You want to walk? Walk.
Veteran action director Tony Scott gives it a sleek, fast rhythm, full of quick edits, coded calls, and moral gray areas. Redford plays the seasoned strategist who's always one move ahead, while Pitt brings the intensity of a field agent who still believes in doing the right thing. Their dynamic feels like two generations of spies and movie stars sizing each other up. Beneath all the tradecraft and double crosses, it's really about trust, who earns it and who survives long enough to keep it. By 2013, Robert Redford had done nearly everything: actor, director, producer, festival founder. But All Is Lost showed there was still something new to prove. It's a one-man survival story with minimal dialogue. Just a man alone at sea after his sailboat collides with a shipping container. No name, no backstory, just Redford and the ocean. The story strips away everything but instinct. Patching leaks, rationing water, scanning the horizon for help that never comes. At this stage in his career, Redford could have coasted on legacy, but instead he gives one of his most physically demanding performances. Every movement feels deliberate, every breath earned. It's quiet, tense, and strangely moving. A reminder that even in silence, Redford could still command the screen.